What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach Hartley, and in this video we are going to talk about Boeing and Virgin Galactic stock. We're going to see if any of them are a long-term hold or a short-term trade. I'm going to show you exactly how I analyze both of these stocks, so let's get right into it. Alright, so first of all, I just want to thank Isaac for giving me the suggestion on this video. He says, nice work. Any chance you can do an analysis on BA or SPCE? So that's Boeing or Virgin Galactic. Yes, that's what we're doing in this video. If you guys are interested in seeing any other comparisons, comment them down below and I'll probably do them. As well as hit that subscribe button. I need to hit 1,000 subscribers, so please help me out. I sincerely appreciate it. Let's get right into the analysis. Okay, so I got the Boeing chart right here. We are looking at a 1-year time frame, and right away you can see some patterns. So we're going to go in and annotate this. So first thing I can see is we got a low point, we've got another low point, and we got a third low point. That means we can draw a trend line right here. So now you can see we actually have a fairly steady and a fairly strong trend line. So this is going here. We also have a couple of different price levels. So I'm going to put in some horizontal price level lines. You can see we got a little bit of support and resistance right there. We got a little bit at this level, and we got another little bit at this high right here. So that's looking not too bad. We'll save that. I want to zoom out on this just to see what the big picture looks like and show you guys what we're looking at, because Boeing's an old company. So here's what it looks like. Boeing for the last 2018 to 2020 was trading in the 325 to 425 range. It was doing extremely well, even with the two crashes of the Max 8 going down and getting suspended. They basically managed to weather that storm pretty good until COVID hit and everything plummeted from about $350 down to under $100, and now it's starting to make its way back up. Okay, so I've zoomed in on the chart a little bit here, and as you can see, we've got our 3 lows right here, as well as our 3 different price brackets or price levels. What I would say, they're kind of the levels of resistance that I would be expecting over the next little while. We just bounced off that strong support line, so I would expect it to make its way up to that 190-200 mark over the next few days. If it breaks through that 200 mark, that could be the time that you place your buy order, or maybe you put an options order in with the expectation that it might retest, but it should reach up to that 220 mark if things continue with Boeing. But if it doesn't get that momentum, where it falls back down within this little channel right here, back into this trading pattern, I would cancel that trade and I would get out of it. Now let's look at the fundamentals, and let's look at Boeing as a company to see if we would want to hold it long term. So when we look at Boeing right now, you can see they've got a market cap of $95 billion, and they do not pay a dividend. I believe they used to pay a dividend, but with everything going on, they completely cut it. So they do not pay a dividend at all. Now, when you look at their website and you go to their investor relations, it's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. You can get all the information you want. So what I've done here is I've pulled up, what form is this one? This is the big one. So this is revenues for the last few years. So as you can see, revenues in 2015 were $96 billion, 2016 93, 94, 101, and then in 2019 they did $76 billion. So it was the lowest revenue that they've achieved in the last 5 years. Not a great look for them at all. They also lost money for the first time in the last 5 years. Not good. When we look at the quarter, let's go down to quarter over quarter. Okay, so total revenues quarter over quarter, 3 months ended June 30th, 2020 was $11 billion. 3 months ended June 30th last year was $15.7 billion. So they're down 25% in revenue year over year, quarter over quarter. They're also down about $10 billion for the 6 months ended June 30th. So like, there's nothing in the revenue side here that makes me feel confident about this. And then the last thing that I want to point out is, okay, so this is the year over year, this is the news release, and I just want to point this out because some people might be thinking, oh, Boeing, they just did the little capsule for NASA, they could be going into the space and basically travel industry, which is probably why I was asked to compare this to Virgin Galactic. Virgin Galactic is going after the tourist space industry. They want to take people out there and possibly do some transportation. When you look at Boeing, you might say, okay, they're in that space, they're getting into it, they're really going to do it, but I don't think it's going to have any impact on this company at all. And the reason that I say that is because if you look at their military and defense and space, everything right here. So this is where it would be. This is where the space travel and space everything would be. You can see that they did $6 billion in revenue, which is great. That's absolutely fantastic. $6 billion in revenue. It actually made up half of their revenue for the last quarter. Now, the problem with that is that not anywhere in their press release here, in their information here, do they talk about taking tours to space, taking people to space, transporting things in and out of space? They don't talk about any of that. All of this money, almost all of this $6 billion here, is devoted completely to military spending. A lot of it is 31% represents orders and customers from outside of the United States. Like, all of this money here is military spending and defense spending. It's not necessarily, and it's probably not barely any space travel, space transportation, and competing with SpaceX, Virgin Galactic. So I do want to point that out because I think people might be buying into Boeing for that potential, and I don't see it. I don't know enough about it. I don't see it based on the information that I've looked at. So when you look at Boeing, they don't pay a single dividend. They're in a very challenging industry right now. Transportation is not coming back very fast. All of these airlines have backlogs of airplanes that aren't being used right now, so I don't think they have a ton of incentive to buy new planes. The technicals don't look great on Boeing. There might be a short-term opportunity here, but I would not invest in it long-term. It would not be somewhere that I would store my money and hope for good appreciation on it. They have no gross profit in the last quarter, and they lost money last year. Things have gotten a lot worse since last year, and they lost money last year. So I don't have a ton of confidence there. I don't think they're well diversified into the space industry. I think most of it is military and defense spending. And they have $20 billion in cash when you look at their balance sheet, but it costs them about $4 billion in operating expenses each quarter just to run their business. So if you look at that, if this company doesn't make money for this year and next year, it means that they're going to be out of money or have to raise more money within a year and a half, which isn't a great sign. It means dilution for shareholders, and it means you're probably not going to see a great return on your stock. So I'm not a huge fan of Boeing on that side. I might be trading it short term, but I definitely wouldn't be investing into it long term right now. I don't see potential in the industry. I don't see a ton of growth in that industry right now, and I don't see it as a great place to store your money. I think there are much better opportunities. So that is my opinion on Boeing. Let's dive into Virgin Galactic right now and see if there's any comparisons here that we want to make. All right, so when we look at the Virgin Galactic chart, as you can see here, we've got a couple of different price levels. I'm going to draw these out right now for us. So really simple. All I'm going to do is a horizontal line so that we can see the different price levels. So as you can see, we've got some testing and some support at these different levels right here. So this is where we're at. Oh, this is interesting. So as you can see, we broke out at the beginning of July. We broke through this previous resistance where it had bounced off in April and May. It broke through. It broke from $20 up to $27, which is actually a 30% run. So really, really good. And then it has come back all the way down to 18. It could fall all the way down to 15. We'll see what happens here. I want to look at this stock on the long term though, just so that we can see this on the big picture. Anytime you're going to look at a stock, anytime you're going to analyze the company, my recommendation is to look at the big picture and then work your way down. Now, Virgin Galactic, exactly, they only IPO'd just a little over a year ago, so we are going to go to, let's go to 15 months and see what this looks like. So as you can see, they came in here December of 2019, $7.50 all the way up to $42. That's absolutely insane in like a 3-month period. Like, what the hell happened? COVID hit, it came back all the way under $10, and now it's at $18.20 with a high in the last 3 months of $27.50. So super volatile stock, really, really interesting. Probably a great stock to trade based on momentum. Just from a quick glance at these charts, it looks like it's moving pretty consistently. There's not huge gaps. There's not huge movements, but they are moving in certain trends. So I like this at first glance. We're going to zoom in to 6 months, take another look at this, and just see where we're at. So again, 6 months, we came all the way down to 10. We've basically been coming up. We broke through resistance. We hit another level of resistance right here at 27.5. We've come all the way back down to 18.23. My expectation, or what I would anticipate, is it's going to come all the way down to this $15 range. It's probably going to hit some support right there, and we could see a turnaround there, but you'd have to wait for confirmation. If it doesn't turn around at 15, I think it'll probably drop back down to 10 again, and that could be your entry point. Now, Virgin Galactic, pretty new company. I know a little bit about them just because I follow them. I read Branson's book. He does a great job, great guy, great brand overall. Couple of things I want to point out. They have absolutely no revenue, so that's kind of a concern. If you look at Yahoo Finance, you can see that they are $3.845 billion company with no revenue. They do have deposits. They have 700 people that have paid $1,000 each as a deposit to get their ticket on a Virgin Galactic spaceship that's going to take them out into orbit. Now, is that worth $3.8 billion, $700,000 in deposits? You got maybe $1 million in deposits for things I'm missing. Is it worth $3.8 billion? Oh, that's a tricky one. Hopefully this company is able to turn some loads, actually get some people into space over the next 1 to 2 years, put some real revenue on there, and then open it up long term. Now, with Virgin Galactic, I don't think you're buying the company for what it is today. I think you're buying into the vision of the future. This is a company that's going to be transporting people on the outside of the world in orbit and moving them around the world, as well as taking them on tours, which is something that doesn't exist right now. So this is so far out and so out there and so amazing that it's really difficult to put a valuation on this. So when I look at Virgin Galactic stock, it's really difficult to compare one company to another, especially Virgin Galactic to Boeing. This is a $4 billion company compared to a $95 billion company. Like these companies just don't compare. So I don't want to say Boeing or Virgin Galactic because they're completely different companies. Virgin Galactic, for me, is a stock that I would be interested in trading. I would be interested in buying and selling it as I predict or as I watch the momentum go up and down. If I can buy it at 15 and sell it at 25, that is just an amazing return. It has the volatility, it has the momentum with it, and it probably has the hype around it that enough people are trading it. It'd probably be a great stock to day trade. Long-term investment, I don't think you could justify it by saying, I'm going to put 10% of my portfolio, 5% of my portfolio into Virgin Galactic because it's a great investment long-term and it's going to generate great returns for me. You have no idea. They could have another accident next year, a pilot could die, and the whole thing could go up in flames. You have absolutely no idea or any way to justify Virgin Galactic as a good long-term hold. It is a chance, it is a risk, it is a small percentage of your portfolio if you're going to invest into it long-term. But I do like it as a trade. I like it for swing trading as well. I'm not sure about how you justify a $4 billion valuation with $700,000 worth of deposits. Maybe I'm missing something there. If I am, please put it in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you, and we'll see from there. So Virgin Galactic, I am not going to buy it right now. I'm going to wait till it either settles at 15 and does a correction, or it drops all the way to 10. I will buy it on the way up, and I'll probably buy options for it to get the best upside on it. Because you're right, I don't think it's going to go down any more than 10. I think it'll settle at 15. And I think it does have some good upside. I think it's got some great upside. And if they start having some successful test flights, they continue with that, they take the first load up and it goes well, then I think you got a lot of room to run, especially just based on the hype around this stock. So in summary, what I'm thinking is Boeing, probably not a buy long term, probably not a short term trade either. I don't see a ton of opportunity there. They have declining revenue. Half of their revenue came from defense, military, and space, and I don't think space makes up any of that. And if Joe Biden gets elected, I don't think military spending is going to increase very much. So I think Boeing's got a tough road ahead. They don't pay a dividend. They have $20 billion in cash, but it costs them $4 billion per quarter to run that business. So they got about a year and a half worth of runway maximum. I might trade it short term. I wouldn't hold it long term. When we talk about Virgin Galactic, different company. You cannot compare them. They're completely different ballparks. They don't have revenue, but they do have deposits. They have a lot of deposits, $700 at $1,000 each. They might have some more revenue on top of that I'm missing, but nothing substantial. They are developing space flights. They are developing space vehicles. Hopefully they're taking hopefully they're taking customers in the next year or two up into space. We'll see how that works, but I wouldn't hold it long term, but I do like it as a short term trade. If it hits 15 and you get a confirmation that it's bouncing back, I would buy it. If it drops all the way to 10 and you get confirmation it's bouncing back, I would buy it there as well. If news comes out though that they have a vehicle accident, I would get out of that stock as fast as I possibly can, and I would run for the hills until it is bottomed out at $2 and then buy into it again. So that is my opinion on Boeing and Virgin Galactic. If you guys got any value out of this video, please consider subscribing. It sincerely helps me out, and thank you so much. We will talk to you soon.